Exactly what they do is you've gotten past the pause, and we are now in for game number 2. Oplon versus GameWard. Now, Bateson, I don't know if we really got into it, so let's talk a little bit about how these two teams will be interacting throughout the game.
I mean, early on, it's what GameWard like to do a lot of the time is try to unlock Checolad, and we've heard words from the team, coaching staff, who understand that, like, hey man, Checolad's the guy. We've seen it in the game, and they want to try and draft and play more towards him. So I'm going to be looking at Akavane, Camelius to be very active in this early game, and for the most part, play towards him if they can. Try to unlock him, put Pang in the dumpster, because especially in this game, it couldn't be more important to put Pang in the dumpster. And you look on the other side too, you got good enough early game pressure in the bottom lane. I mean, Braum in lane, it's a little unlucky, but out of lane, it is going to be really nice because you don't only just have the event horizon from Pang to be able to kind of slow engages, allow yourself to turn fights. You have Braum, his entire kit.
I love that Pang took Predator. He's gonna be so fast.
No.
He's gonna
no.
just be hipping and hopping around the lane. You know, with a Predator pick as well too. I imagine we'll see a fair amount of action going towards the bot side as well. Which, interesting enough, so one thing that's what I wanted to get into for GameWard. So talking to the coach Nico, right? He was mentioning that a lot of their effort has naturally been going to Checolad, who they've been training to put in a leadership role. And just right around post 6, or pre 6, I should say, Akabane doesn't necessarily try to focus on side lanes, right? Of course, if they set up the ways for him to potentially dive and they have an opportunity with hard CC and setup, they're all for it. But more often than not, because you see that Melanik and Inax are pretty self-sufficient, so they decide to lead them to their own devices. So watch out for Akabane to see if he, or Akabane, if he decides to focus a lot more of effort to mid, like you mentioned, especially this game, because this will be the game to do it.
So far, we have opposite clears coming from these junglers. Now that they are both about to hit that level 3 mark, what are they looking to do is the question. Brunez, interestingly enough, is going for some interesting pathing here. I think he is doing it so that he can match Akavane and start clearing his top side for when Akavane goes for that Scuttle Crab. If he does that too, it is a way he's going to be able to cover Pang in that mid lane and hopefully keep them from losing anything.
Would be ideal.
Yeah, it would be great.
Considering where he's at right now, it seems as though both junglers are just going for a nice little full clear. Brunez just gets spotted, right? They see the Raptors being taken away, but he'll manage to get his entire jungle alongside Akabane. He managed the full clear just a little bit faster. He's Lee Sin, early game tempo, naturally in his favor, as he takes away the top crab. The question will have to be, is after taking top crab, does he then also go down to Peng?
Yeah.
See the wards coming down as well, but instead decide the wave not exactly in his favor, so he'll back away though. And considering where Brunez is at, we could see him try to aggress on Melanik though, because look where he's going.
Yeah, he might have the opportunity there. You can see the ward in that top rush in the mid lane there for Pang. It did allow him to know Akabane was there, so there wasn't really any danger as long as he played his life correctly. And it's looking like both junglers just going to go for the reset, not actually try anything. I mean, with Dragon number 1 coming through, something both teams might want to play towards. It was mentioned on the analyst test too how Oplon, actually just teams in general, not some of them not doing as much trading of neutral objectives, not really prioritizing them in the early levels. So that is something that they can look to try and do here. As actually, might see some action in the mid lane. Both supports have reset. Both junglers are in the vicinity except for Akabane, who is a little further behind. You can see Checolad, he's running out of mana. He needs help to shove this next wave.
Yeah, there's going to be a party in the mid lane, like you were mentioning, as Absolute sees Camelius over on the other side. So as they just trade vision and sight ward. So both teams are very aware of each other's presence. The question is what do they do on top of it? And it seems as though GameWard decide they're not first to the take. The vision setup is not great as of right now. So they look to back off the Dragon.
It is going to be just about vision setup for the moment here, as laning in general has been very quiet. You look at CS, things are relatively even. Brunez, I think, the only one with any noticeable deficit behind like maybe 2 camps as he is finishing his Gromp. You got to imagine we're going to see something come through soon. Because like, if we're talking Lee Sin and Zhao, usually they're on the map trying to do something here, but at the moment they're not doing anything.
Huh. Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, they've just been kind of full clearing.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I really do wonder why, but Chocolate inside the little baby cage. Peng is about half health.
Oh, he's
but
popped Predator.
Considering that's down, he goes in. He's at 6.
He popped that flash.
He's gone.
He wants the R.
Flash is gone. His R is down, in fact. I believe he wasn't able to land it somehow. I don't know what happened there. But, yeah, he's fine. But Peng
Fancy
gets
feed.
away.
I think what happened is Peng flash R'd and was in trouble. But without any vision going through, he actually did manage to. Or maybe that ward helped him. It's hard to say from the angle. But ultimately, dodging out that Sonic Wave was a big deal. Otherwise, he absolutely would have lost his life. But because of it, and his jungler, he does get to walk away here. But I like that aggression. Peng knows he wants to do a little limit testing. He knows Checolad's the guy, and he's trying to overthrow him.
Yeah. You were mentioning as well, too, Chocolate has been a big way of how GameWard have played through going through the mid to the late game. And him being ahead is absolutely crucial, considering he's a big part of the DPS. And the objective taking for this team can be disgusting, especially if you match skill in the late game. And they want him across the board as a player to call for resources. They want him to be much more of a leader. They want him to tell Akabane, like, hey, come mid right now. Let me see it. But we'll see if he decides to step over the leadership role, as he's young, he's a rookie, maybe nerves to get into him, but so across the board, he's been performing solidly as the lane and the wave and the farm, in fact, in his favor.
Has been looking pretty good in most of the games here for GameWard. At the moment, we have both neutrals about to be up here. Herald will be up very soon. I think that's what Oplon are looking to focus on instead. You see Brunez, he's on this top side of the map, as things are still very slow and inactive. You got to imagine something is going to take place very soon. You have the recall from the enemy bot lane for Oplon, so maybe with this reset, Brunez can walk down and go for this dragon, but it's looking like he is walking to the top side. He has his support with him. Darlik so far in this early game is going to have the shove. He has the steel cap, so he's pretty comfortable trading, being a little more aggressive against this gangplank, which should give you that priority you need to go for this Rift Herald.
Speaking of his supports as well, Camillus is also walking down towards the top side to look and match up with Brunez for this Rift Herald, but instead it might be the play mid, he gets knocked back, there's no flash, the cage will land, the stun as well. Akabane goes in, and there we go. There's also the Ember as well to slow them down, but we see Oplon also try to get one back, but they cannot do so. Brunez. So we gotta find the engage, but they find the engage on their Darlik. Looking for the pop the ultimate.
Wait a minute.
They might be in too deep. Camillus goes down, and they get traded a 1-for-1.
Oh, getting a little too greedy there on the side of GameWard. Chameleons, they got one. You're happy with that. You gotta walk away. And you ultimately, Darlik ends up picking up a kill. It's gonna make this laning phase a little tougher for the moment for Melanik here. Overall, I think that was a good punish from Akavane, just punishing the fact that Peng didn't have flash because of the very aggressive play he made in the early minutes. It won't amount to much just yet in terms of neutrals, but I see the pings coming through, and it's looking like Akabane is just going to run his way straight to that Rift Herald. You still have top lane pushing. Darlik needs to answer it, and Darlik doesn't even have that dominance.
Yeah, and because of which too, he is going to instead roam down. He'll watch the Rift Herald being taken, but they are looking to be contesting for it. Right, flashes up. Oh, they find the gates on a Chocolate.
Oh, nice ultimate.
As well, and all that CCJ. Chocolate is done, and finally the Event Horizon will land from Peng. There we go, he finds his kill.
Yeah, huge play coming from that Primordial Burst, and there it is. You don't get the Herald, but you do manage to get a kill onto Peng. Extra gold for this Vigar, who's going to be a big source of damage and playmaking later on. And I like to, Absolute had the level 6 on Chameleus, had that Glacial Fissure ready to go, and was able to set up the play here. And because of that, you get Checolad, who's going to lose out on a good amount of gold and XP because he still doesn't quite have teleport ready to go. And you have Peng, who's about to get his back any second now. Can TP mid, can help set up for this dragon that Oplon surely wants to take.
Oplon indeed wants to try to capitalize on as many early plays as they can right now, considering the Lofty Rift Herald. And with the early pick, this will be the way to do it, because their Chocolate is locked down to mid, looking to get his lane state back in his favor. So they have a really good time right now to capitalize on it. And Absolute and Brunez are walking down to the dragon, and with wave pushing in, ADC not necessarily there. This is the most definitely theirs.
Certainly must be. Akabane, who is on his Raptors at the moment, could look for another play mid. Has flash, has kick ready to go, and Peng doesn't quite have his flash just yet, but it's looking like maybe he's going to drop Herald in the mid lane, use that as the priority for the dragon. It's going to be tough, though. I don't know if Oplon want to let go of both neutral objectives. I mean, you have both 80 carries now who can be a part of the fight, but it feels like Oplon are just going to walk away.
Yeah. They decide not to take it. I was thinking to see if maybe Akamane might have decided to contest it, but no. He's so he just shows himself thought, and they move off of it. They had, I mean, I know they didn't have bot push either here, but all right. Now I will rest my case as
there it
here's
is.
what Akamane does have, though, does not land a second Q, so will not be able to get a second engage either. I think want to try to go in onto Pang.
Oh, here
Absolute is
comes
there.
the turn.
About to one, Chameleus might be the next target yet again. The sacrificial lamb for GameWard as he gets poked down.
Beautiful.
The primordial burst. There's 5 more stacks for Pang.
Now, Oplon, they are just running things in the early game. They managed to, I mean, big shout out to Pang. It was a good combo coming through from GameWard, but he managed to flash to avoid the solar flare, which would have surely meant his death. And in doing so, like you said, more stacks, more kills, more gold for Oplon's one of their best players on the team. The player we keep highlighting, seeing if he's going to be able to go big so that they can get their first win of the split here. And it all starts with Dragon number 1.
Now, it is really unfortunate that the art rework has not come through.
Yeah, he is a big, hey,
yeah.
next couple weeks.
I know, we're almost there. We might potentially get to see an Ari within the LFL. I know how happy that would make you.
Oh my God, you don't even know.
But for now, I believe we'll just hold off, right? Consider Pang on this pick is something that you don't see too often, but the fact that he's already just showing up on it too, the curse of Inesk comes more and more true.
Yeah.
As we continue forward within this game.
Can't believe last year was at Nice too. That part actually shocked me because
Right?
I know you told the story yesterday.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that it also happened at this very LAN. So scenarios all the same. Inax, he's doing all right so far in this late phase, but he, man, he'll get memed on forever if that happens.
And that would be absolutely crazy, man.
Yeah, it would be.
And it's fun though, because talking to GameWard, they did mention how, you know, the reason they are potentially afraid of Oplon as well, considering the position they're in, they're a team that has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
They can go for extravagant plays and picks like these, and no, they're not necessarily giving up a ton. They have all the time in the world to try to experiment. And all the coaches of Oplon I mentioned as well, they have a very lighter mentality. It's perseverance, they grind, they put the work in.
Yeah.
So this right here might exactly be the exact result of them doing that. If Frilla gets propped though, they get a couple of plates. But so far, nothing more off of it for GameWard.
And it's really interesting too to see these teams face off just with how much pressure they both apply through the mid lane. You talk about Checolad and how he is being encouraged to call resources. Well, actually, hold that thought.
Well, Brunus gets a little bit of damage. It's
Uh-oh.
absolute as well, so lock them down.
Oh, nice ultimate.
Yeah, flash force that as well from Akamane as he has to run away. Chameleus locked down again, bro. This guy can't catch a break.
At least this time he gets to walk away.
Yeah.
He's very happy about that one. But like the point I was trying to make too is how it's really interesting how both of these teams do play through their mid laner. Checolad calling for resources and
Melanic might be dead.
wait, no, he doesn't get him. Nah, he's good. He's good.
He's fine.
But yeah, Pang also getting a lot of resources too.
Yeah.
Like you can see it. Absolute is there all the time. Brunez is showing up a lot, covering a lot of these plays, setting up for plays of their own. The reason that they end up turning more often than not into Oplon's favor. We know Oplon in these weeks have had good early games. The problem is mid to late. So is today going to be any different, or is it going to be the same old?
Yeah, I find though, one big thing has been is they've given up opportunities to Dragon Stack and funnel themselves into holes where they have to take super unfavorable fights that are not on their terms. He's feeling himself. Yeah.
He popped the Predator too, just to be like, hey, I'm coming. Just kidding.
I'm coming. I got you. Nah, I did. No, it's fine. Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying before too. But and this is one way that Oplon can really dissuade themselves. But Melanic, this time should be locked down. There we go. The stun not gonna land, but there it is.
Oh, nice
lightning. Melanic on the tower. There we go. Cut in half.
Okay.
Brutus will pick up his first kill of the game.
That's what we like to see. Oplon, activity, confidence, and we've been seeing it non-stop so far in this game. It's going to lead to not only their first Dragon, which happened earlier, it's also going to lead to their first Rift Herald in this game here. They're going to have this. They could potentially set up a play. They could drop it top lane if they really actually top lane. I don't like that idea. I'm gonna take that back. I never said that. They could drop that mid.
Yep.
They could hold on to
There
it
you
and
go.
use that off successful play, something along those lines. Not top lane. Who would
I was
say
gonna
that?
say Peng literally has Predator. He does not want to stay in lane. He wants to
Yeah.
be waddling around the
Yeah.
entire Summoner's Rift, being the tiny terror that he is.
Yeah, and that he certainly is. 2-1, even CS so far with Checolad. I wonder if they'll ever show us like how many stacks he has of Phenomenally Evil. That's the thing I'm always interested in.
Yeah, it's hopefully we get that up sooner rather than later. I genuinely can't get over just the fact that he's also using just a pajama skin, and he
Yeah, I
looks
love that skin.
ridiculous waddling around. But you know how he is a
Deadly.
champion. You're like within seconds, your health will disintegrate.
Ravi, how could you? He is evil. Stop laughing.
I won't be putting out any more short jokes, but as Babycage gets put down, Peng as well establishing his dominance on all the members of GameWard. Because you got to run away one after the next, dragging up in the next 20 seconds, and vision a little bit even between these two teams.
All right, now you got Melanik, who's doing his best to take down this top turret. He's getting a lot of alone time with it, and I don't know if anyone is going to be able to match. Peng doesn't quite have the teleport up, so it's looking like Melanik's going to go ahead and end the laning phase for himself. It's something you probably didn't want to see with how much pressure Darlik's been able to apply, and the fact that Melanik, Gangplank, in the side lane, being able to more free farm safely is a bit of a danger here. But ultimately, that pressure is going to force Peng to move to the top lane, and it's going to allow GameWard to get their first dragon.
A good play, and Melanik as well. Just relieving, and giving spaces for GameWard and opportunities across the entire map. Just capitalize on the second dragon, and this is where I want to see Oplon set up. With the next 4 minutes, how they set up for this next dragon, make sure they're starting to stack, and then from there too, is how they extend that lead. And what it's going to come down to is the plays that are making top side. We already see Tiger and Peng there with the decide to drop it. So that's going to be the next 4 minutes of the game. This is how Oplon needs to push to the lead.
Well, Tiger in a bit of trouble. Going to force them to go the long way here. Now, Inax actually getting some alone time with this turret would be a nice bit of gold that he's not going to get because Darlik is on the way here. Still no Rift Herald dropped by Brunez. He's starting to run out of time on that Eye of the Rift Herald here as, okay, Inax will be able to get that bonus gold. I mean, this game, we haven't seen much from really either AD carry thus far.
Yep.
It has just been about support mid-jungle, mostly. That's where a lot of the action has been here. You got to imagine Tiger, especially Inax, is itching to get in on the action soon. Make sure his team doesn't end up giving Oplon their first win like he fears.
Yep. And there's the Rift Herald being dropped as well. We were hoping for them to get that. And now with mid broken open, this is what we were expecting.
Yeah.
Peng, right, just now taking out laning phase 2. Now has the opportunity to try to back in, and when he comes back as well, is where they set up around the bot side will be ever so crucial. Considering we see Darlik backing, he should be looking to match Melanik the top wave. So I do expect Peng to be going down bot to pick up that wave and push.
3 minutes away from the next dragon. It is, wow, so I did just notice it was the Hextech dragon, which is coming out, so this one wasn't removed, and it is very cool because of the portals, the different flank angles you could see. I actually am going to keep my eye on Chameleus in particular for that one. I mean, playing Leona, you are that champion who's you're just going in there like swimwear, throwing away your life, hoping you can set up a kill for your team. I think the Hex Gates are a wonderful way to do that exact thing. So especially that portal by the blue buff that we were just watching, that's definitely a popular one. It leads behind the Dragon Pit, and it's really interesting on, I mean, either side, but particularly if you're on blue side, you can just, as the enemy team is on the Dragon, send someone over by the blue buff, and they get that beautiful engage angle.
And we've seen these Hex Gates be used in very fascinating fashion before as well. I believe it was in the game, I think it was LDLC that they had the All-Star as well.
Yeah,
DOS.
DOS.
About 6 gold. Yeah, DOS
I remember.
kept finding angles to go behind. It was right near the Wolves, right at the base, and get these huge flank angles on, I want to say it was BDSA, no? Yeah.
I don't remember which team, but you are right overall. Peng, oh man, putting a lot of pressure there onto Melanik, and that's the scary thing about Vygar. If you are within the threshold, if you are within flash range,
The outplay
he's
button.
obligated to outplay you. Exactly. So much. Do you know how hard it is to press flash and then R? Man, my fingers be cramping.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, people saying playing Zeri is hard. This right here, this is it.
This is the
where
pinnacle
true
of
challenge.
mechanical skill.
Absolutely. For now, he'll put down his cage again. Melanik chunked out a quarter of his health, but
nice
goes in,
kick.
the kickback, and this he actually wanted to see. Now he's gone, the kill given over. Akabani using both of his thumbs as Brunes might be the next target. Absolute, very, very low, but they will not extend further.
And look at the commitment here. They put so many onto this bottom side of the map to try and support Peng, but we're not expecting the kick to come through. And look what it means. Inax is just continuing to get all this turret gold. He's got to be so insane here. He is a couple hundred gold ahead of Tiger. He's on the Cephalios. He is ready to put on the hyper carry pants. And this is going to come to fruition, I imagine, in this next Dragon fight, because both of these teams are going to have their eyes set on it. And Inax being able to avoid things like the cage, like the glacial fissure, and what's definitely going to be a potential flank coming through from Darlik, so he can output the damage.
Oh yeah, that's going to be massive too, considering what we have set up right now for Oplon. They have a lot of deep vision in the bot side jungle of GameWard, so being able to at least watch out for those potential flanks that you were talking about. But the question has to be, though, in the river, it's completely dark, so GameWard can't take advantage of that and look to set up in the next 20 seconds. Dragon is almost up, but Cannon Barrage will not be up for that time. So Melanik has TP if you want to try to match the potential engage. As we see, a lot of them are setting up around top side, setting up for a just a bait, I assume. Yeah.
It's looking like they do want to threaten. There is no vision, and they certainly have the damage. When you think about Azir, Gangplank, and of course the Aphelios, so you do have to be sure that this isn't happening. The problem is, it's happening, and Oplon don't know.
They have absolutely no idea, because Melanik is mid, Chocolate is mid, but he's not walking back. Oplon might be sensing this is happening yet. They don't necessarily know. Baron is almost gone. The curtains get open, but Baron is already taken away by GameWard. They sneak that out. Melanik is a flash over the wall, but that was sick.
What a great play. You know Oplon have their eyes on the dragon. You know Oplon don't have the strongest Baron take, so they have to worry when all of a sudden that top part of the map goes dark. And what does it mean? You have 3 people saying, hey, come for this bush play, come for this bush play. Well, Akabane and Inax are like, just kidding, we're taking the Baron.
Yeah, it was gone so long. Is the fact that you were mentioning, Inax has so much gold as a hold that thought. That's a ton of damage put down onto Darlik. He has to flash away the Ignite as well, but that shielding will save his life. But you mentioned before, all that gold given over to Inax allows them to essentially 2v2 the Baron with just Akabane and him. That is a phenomenal call by GameWard.
It's huge. It's really gotten them the ability to just continue this gold lead that they were slowly working on as it is. So they are now ahead and accelerating. When you think about how Melanik has been freely scaling up for the most part since he's gotten out of laning phase as well. Those Cannon Barrage got to hurt. You know those Silver Serpents have been collecting in his back pocket. And of course you have Chocolate. 2 items, the Shadow Flame going to come in big here with the extra penetration over high health targets. There's a lot going in GameWard's favor here. Oplon still have ways with how their comp operates to be able to come out on top. The lead is not so insurmountable yet, but it's hard. I mean, you got to give a lot of props to Akabane in particular. How good he's been at isolating people like Peng at such crucial moments so GameWard can make these plays.
Yeah, and you've seen him, and you've seen it be around moments where Oplon are looking to prioritize, especially objectives, right? These beautiful flank angles, and managing to find the Q on priority target, even if he doesn't, right? It's isolating Peng. We were saying he needs to be put in the dumpster. Although that hasn't necessarily happened, it is still under a lot of threat and duress. And playing around that event horizon is something GameWard has done really well.
It's worth noting, actually, while the Baron was taken, Oplon did manage to get the second Drake. So at least they have a soul they could potentially play for in, what is that, 8 minutes time? That is all granted that they get the next one as well. They could threaten Akabane here, but Darlik? Oh, okay. You
can just get it out. It's fine. It's
renekton things.
Yeah, nothing to be afraid of, right? So we got GameWard too, with the way it looks so far is very controlled, solid gameplay. And they mentioned before as well, what they're looking for as of right now is consistency. They mentioned they've shown 2 faces in the league so far. but they're looking to continue on showing exactly one that can show that they're a strong team and one to be feared, especially with the new setups they have. It's been a lot of the players taking on more of these calls and just setting up for the plays.
And it's a big deal. We're in spring split, right? Into the new year. Teams, some of these teams newly formed, even if it's not the whole team, you're including new members, things like comm structure, so much gets changed, so much happens where it takes getting used to.
Yeah.
It takes figuring out what people's roles are going to be, who's calling what's important, and who's going to be the leader, and stuff like that. For GameWard, you mentioned it. They want Checolad to be that role. The side of Oplon, that's something we don't know exactly where they're headed for, but when it comes to how they're going to play, it seems like they've been all inning on Peng so far, all split long. And we're getting glimpses of why, because of how good he seems to be. It's just tough now because you get into these moments where Oplon, they start to turtle up a little bit. When they start to fall behind, they take less risks there, and more so than is warranted. I think they are too cautious at times, and it doesn't allow them to ever catch back up.
Exactly, yeah, because then they end up bleeding resources across the entire map. They're not able to match the pressures because they seem that, you know, if they group up and just try to play for one lane, if there's ARAM in mid, and they might be fine. That way they will not lose the game. But as you mentioned, that ends up, that then just forces them to end up in, which is like this. We're Peng, now it's a split from the other team. When he's one of your big carries right now, with your composition, he has to be the person that you're keeping safe and funneling a lot of resources into, and trying hoping for that he can just one-shot somebody within these fights. But within the overall role from Oplon, though, we've seen Brunas has been the one to take up the overall shot calling mantle. But considering the way he's played so far, right, you can see how he's veering on priority targets. He knows how the comp should play. But as of right now, Oplon and GameWard, both turtling in to a point, but GameWard just seemingly ahead.
You can see a GameWard with no Baron on the map. They are focusing their vision on this dragon, and it makes sense. You don't want to give Soul Point over to Oplon. It is one of the big ways they will get back into this one. Now it's just Peng. He's fishing. He's trying to see if he can catch somebody with that Event Horizon. If so, it will be their way. I don't see any flank TP wards necessarily, except that one in the bottom lane. If somehow this fight can get pushed into the river, there is a chance for Darlik to be able to make such a play. Problem is, again, GameWard, they're having most people, a lot of the CC sitting in the bush. They're only going to send 1 or 2 members to go ahead and take the dragon. If Oplon realizes they could get a fight.
Speaking of the river, there's no vision there too, and out comes a big barrel chain. There's a lot of nice things being put down, but with the way they're set up right now on the side of GameWard, Oplon looks to back away. They know they can't go into this dark, and from their Inax will just take the dragon by himself. Considering how much damage he puts down.
Yeah.
And now we are 2 apiece between these two teams. As we go back to the same sort of state, looking at resets between the two as Baron spawns again.
At the very least, you do trade it for some information on this top side of the map. A lot of vision that now GameWard have to clear, and it's just in time for the Baron to spawn. So you have Tiger, who's going to clear this mid wave. You have jungle support mid, who are respawning, spending some of the gold that they have. And it's worth noting, Peng is at 2 items, getting really close to that Archangel staff, and the fact is he's been stacking all game with this passive Phenomenally Evil. So you got to imagine the AP is really starting to get up there. If they can just find a fight where Peng can free hit. But it's hard because Akabane has his number. He's had it all game. He's looking for the insects, and now, and GameWard are looking for the Baron.
Yet again, but this time it is on vision. Oplon are aware of this happening. Darlik has TP, but he is bot side. He could potentially come here. But look at Peng on the other side. That Event Horizon could potentially just solo in the jungler. Akabane could die within a matter of seconds. That's one way they could just deny the Baron from them the second time. It's Tiger, Brunas, and Absolute. Look, the focus on the other side.
Oh, Darlik's looking.
There's a TP as well. There we go. Akabane has to flash away. Gonna lock him down and at least to get them off the Baron.
Still, they probably want to be looking for more. They got the TP out, and that favors GameWard to force Darlik to use a really important summoner and not lose anything in the process. It's a big deal. Oplon can't find what they're looking for, don't have the option to just turn in the Baron. Any Baron attempt we see from them, it would have to be to play for the turn. The damage isn't quite there. The Baron take isn't quite there, but like at the moment, they aren't going to do much else about it. They're just going to continue pushing these waves out, trying to make sure there isn't a chance for Melanik to threaten inhibitor turrets on the side, as those are the only turrets remaining.
Yeah, as yeah, like you said, every single turret taken away. GameWard doing a really good job of funneling that gold into Inax as well. Considering both ADCs have managed to be isolated for most of the game, right? Trying to pick up as many waves as possible. Inax more so, but Tiger is quite ahead within farm. He already has a shutdown on him just because of how ahead he is in the lane. So
he's up like 40 CS, yeah.
Yeah, which is quite nice. But to be fair, Inax been focused on taking objectives, right? So trying to match him in gold that way. And last time we saw, he was ahead of him by a couple hundred. As GameWard run back onto the Baron pit, clear out vision again, as that is scarce for Oplon.
This is tough now. You Peng on the side lane, because he's the only one who has TP. He's coming.
There we go. The knockup already onto 1. They find 3. But can they get more out of this is the question. Tiger opens up the curtains. But look at the back end. Darlik is there. Looks to go in. Akaban has to flash away. So look for it. There's the double. As 2 more go down. Chekolog gets focused so early on in the fight. Oplon find their targets. But what more can they do off of it is the question.
They don't look like they want to go for the Baron just yet. They do manage to get 2 crucial picks, but the jungler is still up. So Oplon, they're going to push to this mid-tier 2 turret. Darlik, he might be looking for a little something, but it's looking like he's not going to be able to do much. It's still not enough for Oplon to really consider themselves back in the game, but these are the plays we want to see from them. This is the activity that we're hoping to find, and it's going to lead them to their first win. Again, they still have these potential carry tools in Peng, so you see the Anathema's chains coming out like you talked about. Very likely did put it on Chekolad. Just I mean, the damage reduction is nice, but the reduced tenacity is my personal favorite thing about it.
Yeah, because I imagine as of right now he's level 15 with all these items. And Event Horizon must be at a 7-second cooldown. It was on a estimating, so just write it on there. So him being able to put that down so often is pretty nice. But for now, one more thing that is a redundancy within this game is the next Dragon.
Yeah.
Both teams at 2 looking to stack up the soul point. I would be interested to see if potentially GameWard decide to give this up and instead move towards the Baron.
I think they will.
As to force them into a trade, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much what happened last time when Oplon picked up their second Drake, which was quite a while ago at this point in the game.
Yeah.
Peng, interestingly, is in the bottom lane. He's showing, but he has no TP. So Oplon are respecting this. They have to back off. There's still time for him to push this wave and then walk his way over here. He is pretty durable and also very strong. So in these fights, if they can get another angle, Peng could do the damage here. And I mean, Tiger, he's got the curtain call. He is definitely pretty juiced in his own right.
Melanik, just running away from Darlik.
Yeah.
Not able to land the chain, but instead Peng.
Oh, the 1v1.
Yeah,
I like
they
it.
knew he was away from the bot side, but they did it because he hasn't shown in mid. So this is the perfect opportunity for them to take away this dragon. Really good call from Oplon.
Beautiful. It's nice because now, as soon as that one goes, though, they might look for a play. But either way, the fact is, Peng gets this. He gets to recall. He isn't on any vision whatsoever, so he shouldn't be giving away too much. It looks like GameWard, though, they're trying to set up for another bush play. Chekolad, he has the ultimate. He has a lot of damage. That was 3 autos with 1 soldier on one of the tankiest members on Oplon, to be fair. Mostly has armor built up here. Oh my god, they're doing the same thing. The thing is, they might get caught this time.
Melanik and Chekolad actually forcing away Darlik. They definitely
he's
caught
done.
him.
He has GA.
There we go. There's the Emperor's Divide. The Deadly Flinch was staying there for a couple more seconds. And there's the revive as well. The question is now, will they focus on? Brunes is in, but he has no damage. Look at the back end. Akabane looking for his target. Peng is safe, though, behind Absolute. Gonna find nobody.
Brunes is dead.
He isolates Brunes, right?
No
There's a
ultimate.
stopwatch to keep him alive for a couple more seconds. Inax will pick that one up. So good pickup for GameWard.
No jungle means it's a Baron start. You have a lot of damage. You're going to be able to take it down even with this turret. Oh, wait a second.
Chekolad?
Oh, the teleport.
Yeah, to be committed to. The turret goes down. He has to run away. Zarlik wants it.
Peng is
he
here.
Does not have
He's
flash.
got the cage.
He locks him
He's
down.
going to get him.
Peng is in. He locks him
That's
down.
the
There we
play.
go. Chekolad gone. Camille is dead. Yet again, the same 2 picks from Oplon in the exact same play. This is deja vu.
Oplon are clinging on for dear life, and they are just finding the place to make it happen here. A lot of it is Peng. Absolute as well. Really nice play there to try and force all that pressure onto, I believe it was Camelius. And overall, Oplon, they're still very much in this, but it's tough. They're still down a couple thousand gold. GameWard still have a lot of options on how to play the game, but we're seeing these examples. If people can get locked out, if Darla can get the angles to start pressuring people, Oplon have a good way to be able to team fight it out here. And you can see it. It starts where he gets caught out, but he has the GA, so he has time for his team to show up. And after he ends up falling, it's going to take a couple seconds of, he's Renekton. There's a good bit of healing, so he's good at stalling. But then you see the rest of the team come through. The curtain calls, the stuns from Peng, forcing Melanic to flash. There's a lot of pressure, too. And it's Brunez. Look at all the space he is buying while Akabane is trying to do his best to get into this fight. Even with the kick, he does end up getting the kill. But ultimately, you still manage to get most of your members, and that's how Oplon do the rest.
Yeah, and Oplon, though, finding a really slow opportunity for themselves. Truer and truer becomes the curse as we continue on in this game. If they were to win the game, your words exactly, it would be this one.
Yep.
And they're making a darn good case for it as to why. Gonna take down one of the middle-of-the-pack teams, GameWard, and why Oplon, as of right now, deserve to get the first win in front of such a big crowd as well. These rookies coming from LFL 2, they had a year rebuilding. The off-season was rough on them, but they want to show why they deserve to be in this league. They want to show how hard they've been working as the Baron gets started by GameWard.
TP's coming through. Peng is here, and he has that death cap, an insane amount of damage coming from those W's. If somebody gets hit with that Event Horizon, they are done. So 3 flashes gone for the side of GameWard. Oh, the Akabane's one of them.
Speaking of being done, so he survives.
Oh,
the last couple
look
of the shield. Peng is gone. Now Oplon's men of support are dead, and Brunez is next. They completely shifted around. GameWard, what a play!
Oh, the target selection isn't quite there. Even if that Primordial Burst takes out Akabane, what does it mean? You just pop the GA. You still have so much damage coming through from Checolad, from the rest of GameWard, and that means the Baron again goes over to GameWard. And Oplon back on the struggle bus, looking like their seat is nice and warm.
Oh, unfortunately so, here, Big Down. These timers are nice and long. They get focused down out of the base, and Tiger and Darla can only do so much. They sadly just have to watch the inhibitor being taken away. Although there's only just one, it's more than enough. This Baron, as of right now, is such a priority and a relief for GameWard as they get out of this dance.
You can see it. The TP looks really good. It forces them to back away, but they want to look for more this time, Ravi. They're not happy with the last time they got them off of the Baron, so they're push. Peng is looking for an angle. Darlik is keeping this mid-wave pushed in, and there it is. He thinks he has the lockdown onto Akabane, and let's be real, he was very close. Problem is, he couldn't get the kill, and what does that mean? Checolad immediately goes in with the ultimate, immediately goes in with all that burst damage, and the rest is history.
Yep, that is it. Simply one after the next. It gets put down. Now, one thing I didn't want to bring up, though, because after this point, the scaling factor is going to be huge on both of these teams. Of course, they do have Peng, right? And Tiger, of course, with the crits is quite nice, but Melanic, Checolad, and Inax all have over 3 items, disgustingly powerful, yeah.
That's right, yeah. They are a problem. That's the thing. Oplon, they have a lot of damage on their team. We got to give them that. But when we talk about who's really a threat on this team, you have Peng, no doubt. Tiger, maybe. Depends.
Yeah.
If he's able to kite, get those shots out, he's going to be able to do it. Let's look over to GameWard. Look over to the left side of your screen. Melanic, Checolad, Inax, all supremely fed, as you had just kindly pointed out. And you have so many people you have to worry about on the side of Team Oplon. There's just so many people who could ruin your comp, ruin your day.
Look at Peng on the backside.
Oh, here comes.
They lock him down. Checolad is stuck in the middle. And yeah,
that's good.
A little bit too far forward. Really well set up pick by Oplon to slow down the push of GameWard. They will not lose any more turrets on their base.
Dude, we're in I just realized we're at 40 minutes. This game has been going insanely long.
Yeah.
And because I looked at Checolad's death timer, I'm like, what? 60 seconds? What the hell? And he's gone for a while. So, of course, GameWard have to back off. Nothing you can really trade for it, as we're 3 minutes away from the next, roughly 3.5 minutes away from the next dragon. And about the same could be said about the next Baron. So there isn't really much Oplon's going to be able to do here. That is really nice that they can replicate that play next time the Baron is up, when the Dragon is up, because it's going to be Soul either way for one of these teams. But we're also at a point where if you win one team fight, you get an ace, you're probably also going to win the game, because these spawn timers are really long.
Not even the
Lad,
ace.
since I started the point, he still hasn't respawned.
This is crazy. And honestly, I was going to say, not even the ace. If you get 3 people,
yeah,
you can easily take them down as long as GameWard has a...
As long as you get, like, the 3 people that we were talking about before, Melon, Chocolate, and Inax.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure that every single person here has those names burned into their mind. They're important. Y'all should know that. Mainly because, too, Melanic is full build, by the way. He's the only person on this team right now that is immediately full build. I think in this game, Checo has to flash away again at risk of almost dying. Oh my god, the trade, the cannon barrage works out beautifully. And Peng gets the pick turned out against him. 55-second death timer.
Yeah, Peng, he didn't want to flash that one, and unfortunately wasn't right about how well he was going to be able to win the 1v1. Nicely played by Chocolate, flashing the event horizon, absolutely necessary. So, we're in a similar position where, yeah, you're going to get a lot of lane pressure, but actually, the TP is coming through. You commit everybody to this mid lane. On this next wave, you could threaten the turret just because you're still 30 seconds away from Peng. Realistically, in this 5v4 where Peng is the main threat, what is Oplon going to do about it?
Nothing at all. Not even just turret too, because you see there is a double super wave also coming down on top side. So them taking this inhibitor, they can really move to top. Got to push in from this could be the end of the game here, beat down. Peng, they know he is dead. It's a 4v5. All the members of GameWard alive, 42 minutes. He's not going to come back in the next 5 seconds. They have to make a play right now.
Well, they're losing the first turret. It's looking like they're just going to take the Hex Gates and walk away. So it won't be the end of the game, but it's definitely the beginning of the end here, one way or another. Oplon lose mid inhib, top inhib, and a Nexus turret. This is tough. You're going to have supers continuing to come through top, continuing to come through mid. And, I mean, we're 1 minute away from this next dragon, so you're at this point where you're going to push the waves about as reasonably far as you can.
Yeah.
And then, well, you're just going to hope you end up winning that fight. At this point, because Melanic is going to have that ultimate, the cannon barrage, I actually wouldn't be surprised if when that super wave pushes closer to Oplon's base, he could just TP in and threaten the end game here as Oplon try and fight for the dragon.
Yeah, this is really easy considering all his wave clear as well, too. He one-shots waves just single barrel.
Yeah.
And considering his true damage, it's a really easy pickup if they choose to do so. Yeah, all that pressure across the entire map. GameWard right now, they know they hold the upper hand. Oplon has to play this fight masterfully, and Peng has to stay alive.
That's the big deal. This is going to be Oplon's last chance here, playing for this soul. The full 5v5, it's a little tough for them. They need the pick off. They need the event horizon to catch somebody out. It's got to be Chocolate, Melanic, or Inax. The 3 carries on GameWard. One of them needs to go down before a 5v5 takes place.
You hear that, everybody? Chocolate, Melanic, or Inax.
Yeah.
Bury those names into your mind, because yet again, they're just walking into the base. They're not afraid of getting flanked from behind, but look at where they're going. They're possibly going to look to pressure away from Soul, and yeah, GameWard to draw away all the resources.
Man.
They know they can't be here. That is Soul for GW.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. That's going to be all the damage I think GameWard need to be able to close this one out. They're going to, you know, cross the T's, dot the I's, go ahead and take the Baron, but I think even if they fought right now, they would be in a good position to end it off, unless we see a miracle.
Camilius, yet again, might be the first one to
not one of the
die,
3.
chunked down to half. He's not one of the 3, so it doesn't necessarily matter. But they open up the curtain call, they find where they're all chilling with the cannon barrage. TP has to come in, because look at Melanic, you were saying this would happen, and he's in the base, pressuring them yet again to get off the Baron and to defend their Nexus instead.
Oh, I mean, look who has the TP, though. It was Peng, so they can't threaten to play for Oplon. Not really. It's going to be really hard for them to get a pick off here, especially with no curtain call available to them anymore. I mean, Oplon, hold on. They get us a chance to take a breath. But how many more breaths do they have? 45 minutes, yes. Top inhib has respawned.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it.
For now, you know, it'll give them a little bit of time, but yeah, they're just completely out of vision. Although the spikes from the Baron do more damage, they can continue to do this. And
they found
they
out.
Called it. Yep, they saw the.
But they can do this. They have to be 50-50.
Akabane and Camillus are only there. They have the TP as well from Chekolad. It's chunking down. It goes in. Akabane kicks one out. They don't get the Baron, but the fight that ensues. Brutus might be the next one dead.
They need to get out.
Onto him. They need to leave. Darlic does so. They only lose one. Oplon.
Not bad.
Get away with the heist.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Brunez's smite wasn't even the secure. It was Tiger. Last auto, fourth shot is pretty good. A lot of damage, but it's tough. You're in the 5 versus 4. Gamers Ward have the soul. You hope that you can use the Baron empowered minions to make something happen. You hope. Oh my God.
Okay, GA, he's fine.
That's good though, because they can kill him now.
Yeah, you're right. Now they have the opportunity. Cannon Barrage is also down as well. Gamers don't want to go for they don't want to go for this fight at all. They want to pressure them back into their base, but a lot of that has been put down. We see Peng is backing in front of them just to taunt them, but they have no wave. They can't continue doing this.
Is open.
Can they just end off of this? Darlic with a big shield.
Oh, that's one.
Next goes in.
Peng
He's
is still here.
A lot of damage. Peng stays alive on the back of it. And there's a Geo pop.
They're holding on.
Go down. They're holding on. Oplon will not go silently into the night, but Chekolad wants to make sure it's night for themselves. He only has one more tank. There's one more. Brunes,
they're gonna hold.
He's defending the base beatdown in excellent. With a stopwatch, Oplon will hold.
I can't believe it. Oplon, they're holding on. They're still in the game. Their mid-inhib responds as if to celebrate what was a legendary base defense coming through here. But still, they're in such a difficult position. They have to play for the Elder Dragon that is coming up in 3 minutes. Will they even get the opportunity?
Oh my God! The fact they do it again, you hear the crowd.
They're cheering Oplon!
Yelling their name! Oplon! 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 Can they get their first win? Everybody wants it. Let's see it.
Oh man, this replay was so hard. It was on a knife's edge, this last team fight. Peng, he's outputting all the damage he can. I want to know these damage stats by the end of the game. He manages to hold on just long enough for Brunez to be able to respawn, and you can see it. Look at this damage here. The fourth shot from Tiger. The cage from Peng with all this range damage they had going for them. Yes, Chekolad gets the kill, but look who shows up. Brunez, the hero, to save the day.
They put up an impenetrable wall, and we've seen Oplon do this before against top teams here, Beatdown. Their base defenses have been immaculate. They are the Great Wall of Oplon. They will not let in the Mongols. They will keep their country safe.
Well, for now, that's the thing. They're still very much under threat. And it's hard. We're at a point now, gold is even. Everybody is about, or not, gold is not even, but everybody's full build basically. Everyone who matters has the max amount of items, and it's worth noting Peng, still being Vigar, as long as he gets the farm, will still gain AP, so he's still going to do more damage over time. This is kind of a position where Oplon, the longer they hold on, the more of a chance they get from this point forward.
Can we get a stack check at this point, man?
I would love to know. I'm also really scared, so maybe don't.
Okay, you know, he has to have at least, I'm estimating, around 1,200 AP at this point, minimum.
Oh, it's got to be something. Dude, we're 50 minutes in the game. It's got to be more.
Oh, yeah. 1,500 AP?
I don't know, dude. It would be something ridiculous. But here comes, like, you have the Elder Dragon. Less than a minute. No one's going to be doing very much fighting. Peng. He sees the 1v1 and takes it. If he wins that, oh, my God.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Oh, no. No, brother.
There's a ward there too, to keep him safe, but
okay.
Yeah, they don't necessarily are able to aggress upon it. Brutus is also there for his support, but okay, all right, he tested, he finds his target. Yeah, smart play, because they know that a pick given over now means the end of the game.
Oh man,
this might actually happen. Oh my God,
it might. We'll see. This last fight is going to decide it all. They need to catch somebody out. If Darlic can get a stun, if he can lock anyone down, anyone crucial, it's going to be enough. Peng will get the CC. They will get the follow-up. Tiger is at a point, too, where these autos, they hurt. He built Storm Razor. Nobody builds that. You know why he did it, though? It's for the slows. They need the CC. They need to set up Peng for these cages.
Yeah.
And he does so much damage at this point. Tiger is also in a spot where he can go really big for Oplon.
Pang right now wants to set up a Hell in the Cell money match. He wants to make sure you lock them down. You're not getting out. You stay here. This is his domain. You're simply a witness to it.
Looking.
They start up the Elder. They're looking for
Cannon
it.
barrage. Oh, it's so big. Big stun.
That's a big solar flare, but they're so far away. Look at Chekolad. Look at Chekolad. He might be able to get in. He's not spotted by the curtain call, but they want
Chekolad's
the
not
end.
here.
A big
Chekolad's
hit.
gone.
Inex
Where is he?
down.
He's trying to end the game.
He can't do anything. He said Chekolad. He's going for the end of the game. But Oplon, they don't know this just yet.
Pang
but
is there.
Pang is back. He can stop him. The Elder should be in their favor.
Oh,
unless they
stolen!
get it.
He steals it!
Stole the Elder. And now they continue forward. Darlik is dead. Absolute.
Wait, they might
But the
hold
next
anyway.
target, they might be holding. It's next. Pang, risk of dying.
Oh, the stopwatch. W.
He's gonna get him. Oh, the flash away. This might
He's
be it, but
trying.
he's gone. He gets popped. Melonic, the pirate, will break down the walls